Okay.
I'm Carly.
All right,
I'm
guys.
Sam.
Okay, so if I give you 3H2, what's the H? That's hydrogen, you guys. That is the symbol. And what does that tell us? Yeah, it tells us what element it is. Okay, what's this number called? Not an exponent is in math, and it's up top.
Coefficient.
It's called a subscript.
I didn't know what we were looking at.
Okay, the subscript. And what does that number tell us?
How many of that it is?
Yeah, how many atoms? Okay, and then the big number in front, what's that called?
Coefficient.
That one's the coefficient. And what does that tell me?
How many molecules there are?
Yep. That's how many molecules. And so you guys, just like in math, the big number in front is called a coefficient. So for example, and I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. If I give you Na, what is that?
Sodium.
It's sodium, and how many do I have?
One.
And I know that it's one how?
There's not so.
Because there's
Nothing on it, exactly. Just like in math, if I have X, it means 1X, but I don't have to put the 1 on it, right? Okay, what if I give you Fe?
Iron.
That's iron, and how many do I have?
One.
1. Okay, good. Now, if I give you H2, what's that?
hydrogen too.
Hydrogen, and how many do I have?
Two.
2, because of the subscript. Because ozone is O3. What element is that?
Oxygen.
That's oxygen, and how many do I have?
3.
3. Good. What if I give you 3C? What element is that?
Carbon.
That's carbon, and how many do I have?
3.
If I tell you that I have 5K, I wish. What do I have? Potassium. How many do I have?
5.
5. Good. All right. So next, you guys, if I have something like Mg3PO4-2. This is magnesium phosphate. As we look at this, guys, you should be able to identify all the elements that are there and how many atoms of each element. Okay, so my first suggestion to you is, first thing, go through and list out all the elements you have. Every time you have a capital letter, that means you have a new element. So in this case, I have 3 capital letters. That means I have 3 different elements here. So what's my first element?
Magnesium.
Magnesium is the Mg.
You have to write it out.
Yep. And then what's P?
Phosphorus.
Phosphorus. And what's O?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Okay, how many magnesiums do I have?
3.
3. You guys, the only thing that applies to the magnesium is the 3 that's on it. Now here, you guys, we have the subscript outside the parentheses, and so it's gonna actually get distributed. You guys have heard of the distributive property in math. Okay, that's actually gonna get distributed to everything inside the parentheses. So if I take 2 times the number of phosphorus, I have 2. And then how many
8.
oxygens do I have? 8, because 2 times 4 is 8. Still good?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you guys find move on, and I tell you that I have 3 CuSO4. Move that up. 3 CuSO4. First off, what elements do I have here?
Copper.
What is Cu? Yes, it is copper, I heard. S?
Sulfur.
Sulfur. And O.
Oxygen.
Okay. How many coppers do I have? 3, because I distribute the 3 just like I distributed the subscript. So I have 3 coppers. How many sulfurs?
3.
And then how many oxygens?
12.
12, because 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? Okay, next. If I give you something like for PB NO3 2, this is lead 2 nitrate. First step. What's my first step?
Write them down.
Yeah, write down my elements. So what's PB?
But
N and O. So you guys, my suggestion to you here, and as you get better at this, you won't have to do it in 2 steps. I would suggest doing this in 2 steps. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover up the coefficient out in front, and I'm gonna only worry about the formula. Okay, so how many leads do I have? 1. How many nitrogens do I have?
2.
And how many oxygens?
6.
6. You guys, once you know that, now go back through and multiply everything by the coefficient. So how many leads do I actually have?
4.
How many nitrogens?
8.
And how many oxygens?
4.
Good. Last thing I want to talk about. If I have an element listed more than once, so if I gave you something like CH3COOH, don't list everything separately. If you have an element more than once, go ahead and combine it, okay? So what elements do I have here? Carbon,
Hydrogen.
hydrogen, and oxygen, yep. How many carbons do I have?
2.
Okay, I have 1, and then I have another one, so yes, it's a total of 2. How many hydrogens?
4.
Because I take the 3 plus 1 and I list them together as 4. And how many oxygens? 2, because I take the 1 plus 1 and I add them together and get 2. So when you do have an element listed more than once, go ahead and combine it.